The pain of discipline today is temporary. The pain of regret tomorrow is permanent.
Any human realizes that if you want some kind of a good outcome, you're going to have to work hard for it.
Being great right now, bro. How do you want to be remembered? You know you're meant for more, bro. You see, there's a difference between choices and decisions. Choices means you get to pick. You don't have a choice right now. You have to decide to be great. You have to decide to leave behind a legacy that's worth following. Get the fuck up. Nobody cares how you feel. Put the work in and leave behind that legacy for them.
You ever notice how life constantly puts you at a crossroads? One path feels good right now, the other feels hard, lonely, even unfair. But that's the battle between short-term pleasure and long-term gain. Short-term pleasure gives you a quick hit, a buzz, a distraction, an escape. It feels good in the moment, but leaves you empty later. Long-term gain? It hurts now. It asks for pain, sacrifice, delayed gratification. But it builds something real, something lasting. People chase pleasure like it's the answer, but all it gives them is regret. Regret for not starting. Regret for not pushing harder. Regret for choosing comfort over courage. And one day they wake up wondering why their life isn't where they wanted it to be.
Respect is earned through results. Respect is earned through commitment, through effort, through doing what you say you're going to do and displaying that through everything in your life.
Life hits hard, but so do you. You've made it this far for a reason. The pain you feel today is forging the power you'll need tomorrow. Don't quit now. Your future self is counting on you. You're not stuck. You're just in a difficult chapter, not the whole story. Rise from the setbacks, learn from the pain, and keep writing your comeback.
Every time you have a thought, you're telling yourself a story that's going to decide, are you having a great day? Are you moving forward? Are you making progress? Or are you convincing your own mind that things are not going well, that things are bad, and you've got things going against you? Every thought you're in control of. And when you're in control of your thoughts, you can change your story at a moment. You can change what you say so you stop hypnotizing yourself to be negative and start promoting your mind so you get the results that you want. Everything you say to yourself is going to be a reaction to what you're telling your mind.
Pleasure now or greatness later. That's the battle. Short-term pleasure feels good today, but it steals from your tomorrow. Scrolling, partying, sleeping in, junk food, hookups. They all hit quick, but they hit hard later. They give you a dopamine high and a purpose crash. They make you feel alive for a second and empty for a lifetime. But long-term gain? That's sacrifice. That's showing up when you're tired. That's grinding when no one's clapping. That's being broke now to be free later. That's being lonely because you chose purpose over popularity. That's being misunderstood because you chose growth over validation. Most people are addicted to comfort. That's why they never build anything that lasts. They chase ease and wonder why life feels hard. They avoid pain and live in regret. But the top 1%, they flip the script. They say no to pleasure now so they can say yes to freedom later. They're willing to be laughed at today to be respected tomorrow. They're okay losing sleep to build something that outlives them. They don't chase the weekend. They chase legacy. You've got to pick your pain. The pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The pain of sacrifice or the pain of staying stuck.
If you can understand that it is irrelevant what people gossip, it is irrelevant what they say, it is irrelevant if they laugh, it is irrelevant if they talk shit, and you understand that the only thing is relevant is what you do, you're going to succeed.
You're not just competing against people who want the same things that you want. You are competing against people who have no other choice but to get the thing that you want.
You ever notice how so many people talk like they know, but never actually do? They watch the videos. They listen to the podcasts. They speak with confidence like they've been there, done that. But when it comes to action, silence. That's the gap between the theorist and the practitioner, between the ones who study success and the ones who live it. The theorists, they're the ones who are always talking. They're watching, they're listening, they're consuming information endlessly. They know all the strategies. They can quote all the books. They can analyze every scenario. They have all the answers, in theory. They're great at planning, great at discussing, great at observing from the sidelines. But the practitioners, they're the ones who are doing. They're performing. They're executing. They might not know every single theory. They might not have read every single book, but they are in the arena. They are getting their hands dirty. They are making mistakes. They are learning by doing. Everybody's talking. Everybody's watching. Everybody's got an opinion, a strategy, a theory. But theory alone doesn't build legacies. Talking never built a business. Watching never changed a life. Listening without doing is just entertainment. So here's the truth. You don't need more information. You need more execution. Less comfort, more courage. Less theory, more practice. Decide what side you're on. Be the one who does, not the one who discusses.
Feeling vulnerable is letting go of your ego, letting go of that tightness, letting go of that ability to protect yourself at all costs from any kind of hurt. You want to fail in life, you want adversity. Failing in life is the best education that can ever happen to you. And failing in life is a deep wound, but it teaches you very valuable lessons. So if you go through life where I don't want to ever feel hurt, I don't ever want to feel criticized or to fail, you're never going to learn, you're never going to succeed, you're never going to be powerful.
You ever look at two people with the same talent, same opportunity, same starting line, and one rises while the other fades? It's not luck, it's not magic, it's mindset. The difference between winners and losers isn't always in their skill, it's in their will. Winners and losers, they both feel pain, they both feel fear, they both face failure. But the difference? Winners keep showing up, even when it hurts. Losers stop when it gets hard. Winners push when it gets harder. Losers need motivation. Winners build discipline. Losers chase comfort. Winners chase growth. When things fall apart, losers ask, why me? Winners ask, what now? When nobody's watching, losers slack off. Winners grind harder when the spotlight is off. Losers wait for the perfect moment. Winners build momentum with imperfect action. Winners aren't lucky, they're obsessed. Losers talk about dreams. Winners bleed for them. Losers complain. Winners adapt. Losers get knocked down and stay there. Winners hit the floor and bounce back stronger. Losers fear judgment. Winners fear regret. Losers want easy. Winners respect struggle. Winners do it tired, do it scared, do it broke, do it anyway, because their standard isn't based on how they feel, it's based on who they've decided to become. Winners show up with purpose. They outwork, outlearn, outlast. They don't need applause. They're too busy building legacy. So the question is, when life hits you, are you going to fold like the rest or rise like the few? Be the winner every damn day. So ask yourself, where do you fall? Are you living like a winner or playing it safe like a loser? Because you can change your results by changing your thinking. You don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to stay small. You just have to choose today to start thinking and acting like a winner. And once you do, there's no going back.
When you said, I'm all in, were you really all in? Let me tell you what the cost of being all in is. Early mornings, late nights, being misunderstood, having very few friends, being your own cheerleader. Are you those things? People always talk about, I'm a hard worker. Everybody in this room is a hard worker. That's not going to separate you from anybody else. What are you working hard on?
If you really want to be great at something, it definitely doesn't happen overnight. It's not going to happen in a year or two. And even if you're having a great season or you're having a career year, there's still so much more room to continue to improve. You know, it's still much more room for you to continue with the process of becoming great. The time and the commitment that you give to yourself, and to your body, and to your craft, and to your mind, those things will take care of itself. And if it's meant for you to have, then it's meant for you to have. And if it's not, if you've done all those things leading up to it and it still didn't happen, you sleep better at night. You're okay with yourself because you gave your body, your mind, your soul, everything that you could ever ask for.
You want to reach the top 1%? Then stop acting like the 99%. Stop waking up late. Stop wasting time. Stop chasing dopamine. The 1% live different because they think different. They don't need motivation, they've built discipline. They don't scroll all day, they study, build, repeat. They don't chase weekends, they build systems that don't care what day it is. You want the 1% results? Start doing 1% things. Wake up early. Not because it's trendy, but because it gives you control. Train your body, not to look good, but to build mental strength. Read every day, not for entertainment, but for elevation. Write your goals, not once, but every day until your mind believes it. Kill distractions. Turn your phone into a tool, not a toy. Create before you consume. Work when it's boring, work when you're tired, work when no one's clapping. You want to beat the 99%? Then outwork their habits. Replace their scrolling with studying. Replace their complaining with problem solving. Replace their instant pleasure with long-term purpose. They chase what feels good. You chase what builds good. Your morning routine, your training, your habits, your edge, your circle, your environment, your self-talk, your fuel. Build a life where your discipline is louder than their excuses. Build routines that make greatness automatic. Schedule your time like your life depends on it, because it does. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. So build habits that scare mediocrity. Build a mindset that rejects average. The 1% aren't lucky, they're consistent. They aren't special, they're relentless. They aren't superhuman, they're just committed while others make excuses. So stop waiting, start acting. You want the 1% life, then build it with 99% discipline. Every hour, every rep, every decision, the choice is yours. And it starts now. So if you're serious about reaching that top 1% mindset, stop thinking like a follower. Stop acting like a spectator. Start leading by example. Start lifting those around you by rising yourself. Because the moment you shift your thinking, you begin to change everything.
Life isn't fair. It's not supposed to be. It's a fight for your peace, your focus, and your future. You don't get to cruise through it. You earn your breakthroughs. You either face the pain or let it own you. That voice in your head telling you to stop, it's lying. So no, it's not easy. But the only way you lose is if you quit.
The things we do in the invisible when no one's watching make all the difference in the world. No matter where you are in life, you know that there's something more, there's something bigger. If you continue to do the same thing, you'll continue to get the same results. There's no other way to look at it. How many opportunities have you missed because you sat on the sidelines?
You ever wonder why only a few people seem to control most of the success, wealth, and freedom in this world? It's not just luck. It's not always talent. It's mindset. There's a clear line between the top 1% and the rest, and it starts in the way they think. The top 1% think different, while the 99% are chasing comfort. The 1% are chasing growth. The 99% look for shortcuts. The 1% build systems. The 99% want results fast. The 1% play the long game. The 99% complain about problems. The 1% solve them in silence. The 99% wait for motivation. The 1% show up regardless of emotion. The 99% want approval. The 1% want freedom. The 99% fear failure. The 1% study it, learn from it, and rise through it. The 99% watch Netflix. The 1% build the next one. The 99% scroll. The 1% study. The 99% seek fun. The 1% seek purpose. The 99% waste time. The 1% buy it back. The 99% chase dopamine. The 1% chase discipline. The 99% quit when it gets tough. The 1% get tougher. The 99% gossip. The 1% grind. The 99% break under pressure. The 1% become forged by it. The 99% want weekends off. The 1% build a life they don't need to escape from. The 99% dream. The 1% execute. You want to be top 1%? Then start thinking, acting, and living like them. Because the only difference is mindset. And mindset is a choice. So make yours. Today, the 99% mindset, it's reactive. It waits for things to happen. It complains about circumstances. It blames others, or the system, or bad luck. It seeks comfort. It avoids discomfort. It focuses on limitations, on scarcity. It asks, what if I fail? And then stops. It believes in quick fixes, in instant gratification. It sees problems and gets overwhelmed. It works just enough to get by. It fears judgment and plays it safe. It says, that's just how it is. But the top 1% mindset, it's proactive. It makes things happen. It takes radical responsibility for everything. It sees challenges as opportunities. It embraces discomfort. It seeks growth. It focuses on possibilities, on abundance. It asks, how can I make this work? and then acts. It understands that true success is built through consistent, hard work over time. It sees problems and finds solutions. It works relentlessly, beyond what's expected. It welcomes criticism as feedback and uses it to improve. It says, I will make it happen.
What I see today is that everything's possible in this world for those who don't quit on themselves or their dreams to reach higher and higher with our dreams, to become more ridiculous with our dreams, because they're all possible.
Whatever you say to yourself and believe over and over again, you start to believe as a reality. You start to walk it, you talk it, and act it. So what you say is, I am unstoppable. I'm unstoppable. I'm unstoppable. I don't care what it is. I'm unstoppable. Nothing will stop me. The greatest of all qualities to guarantee success is the absolute willingness to go at anything and refuse to stop until you achieve it.
Maybe it's my fault.
You ever look around and realize what most people are chasing? Casual sex, partying, alcohol, scrolling, the next quick hit of dopamine. And you wonder, why are we wasting our lives on things that don't even last? Because it's easy. It's right there. It gives you a little buzz, a little escape, then leaves you emptier than before. But doing the hard things, that takes work. That takes focus. That takes discipline. That takes choosing long-term fulfillment over short-term pleasure. And let's be honest with ourselves for a moment. In this modern world, there are so many distractions, so many easy outs, so many ways to numb the discomfort. We see it everywhere, don't we? The endless scrolling, the fleeting highs of casual sex, the temporary escape of partying and alcohol, the constant chase for instant gratification. And while there's a place for enjoyment, for connection, for unwinding, we have to ask ourselves a critical question. Why are we focusing on these easy comforts rather than doing the hard things? Why are we choosing the path of least resistance when deep down we know the greatest rewards lie on the path of most resistance? It's because the hard things, they demand effort, they demand discipline, they demand sacrifice. Building a business is hard, mastering a skill is hard, forging a strong relationship is hard, getting in peak physical shape is hard, confronting your fears is hard. And the easy things, they offer immediate dopamine hits. They offer temporary relief from boredom or discomfort. They offer an illusion of connection without true depth. But here's the brutal truth. The easy path leads to a hard life, and the hard path, the one you're avoiding, leads to an easy life, a life of freedom, of fulfillment, of true power. When you're scrolling, you're consuming, not creating. When you're constantly partying, you're escaping, not confronting. When you're chasing fleeting pleasures, you're building nothing lasting. And while you're doing that, the hard things, the things that truly matter, are waiting. They're waiting for your focus. They're waiting for your dedication. Because the person who chooses the hard thing, the person who embraces the discomfort, the person who puts in the work when no one is watching, that's the person who builds something real. That's the person who earns true confidence. That's the person who creates lasting impact. That's the person who truly lives. So today, I challenge you. Look at your habits. Look at where your energy is going. Are you investing in your future or just distracting from your present? It's time to shift your focus. It's time to choose the hard thing. It's time to embrace the discomfort, knowing that on the other side lies your greatest self. Put down the phone. Step away from the fleeting. Lean into the challenge. Confront the discomfort. Because your true potential, your real freedom, your deepest fulfillment is found in the hard things. Stop choosing the easy way out.
Maybe I led you to believe it was easy when it wasn't. Maybe I made you think that every shot I took was a game winner. Maybe it's my fault that you didn't see that failure gave me strength, that my pain was my motivation. Maybe I led you to believe that basketball was a God-given gift and not something I worked for. Every single day of my life. Maybe I destroyed the game. Or maybe you're just making excuses.
You can make a million excuses why you didn't work out this morning. You can make a million excuses why you didn't get that raise, why you didn't take that leap of faith. You can make a million excuses, but you know deep down inside, and consciousness is eating away at you, that it's an excuse. It's not a reason. It's an excuse. Stop making excuses. And when you stop making excuses, the only alternative is then results. You will have periods of defeat, but that defeat will be temporary and not permanent because you will dust yourself off, get back up, and try again.
You can be the strongest, the smartest, the most talented person in the room. But if you can't control your mind and your emotions, none of that matters. Because everything starts there, in the space between your ears. That voice in your head, that fire in your chest. If you don't lead it, it will lead you. You must learn to control your mind and emotions, because if you don't, they will control you. Your feelings will lie to you. Your thoughts will betray you. Discipline starts when the mind says quit, and you still move. Emotions are real, but they are not your leader. You don't need to feel like doing it. You just need to do it. The world will throw chaos at you. Your emotions will rise. Your fears will scream, but you must stay calm. The strongest man is not the loudest. He's the most controlled. When anger comes, breathe. When fear comes, face it. When doubt whispers, answer back with action. You can't wait for motivation. You have to move through resistance. Winners don't obey their feelings. They command their mindset. They master the voice in their head. They question it. And if that voice is weak, they replace it with one that's strong. Control is not about shutting feelings off. It's about not letting them decide. It's about keeping your vision clear while storms rage around you. It's about staying focused when distraction is begging for attention. You want success? Start by mastering the battlefield between your ears. You want peace? Train your emotional muscles like you train your body. You want greatness? Control your mood, or your mood will control your mission. Because the man who can command his mind can command his future. Lock in, stay level, lead yourself, and let nothing inside you stop what you're building outside. So when your thoughts get loud, quiet them with purpose. When your emotions get wild, steady them with discipline. When fear shows up, don't run from it. Look it in the eyes and keep moving forward. This is the real work, not just grinding harder or working longer, but learning to stay grounded, to stay focused, to stay in control, even when everything feels out of control. So today, begin the journey. Take charge of your inner world. Practice mindfulness. Practice intentional thought. Practice conscious emotional response. Because the greatest freedom you will ever experience is the freedom that comes from within. The freedom of a mind that serves you and emotions that empower you. Learn to control your mind and emotion. It's the ultimate superpower, and it's waiting for you to wield it. Now go master yourself.
So what's the story you're telling yourself from the day you wake up and all through the day until the night? Just because things don't go your way doesn't mean you can't change the story or learn a lesson from what's happening. Tell yourself the story and the results that you want. Convince yourself that things are always going your way, even when they aren't, and you'll find the direction and you'll find the answer to get the results that you're looking for and that you need. Convince yourself that the stories that you're convincing yourself of are positive and not negative. And the stories and the events and the feelings you get will create the results that you want.
You want to be on your deathbed, looking back at your life saying, I just didn't try. It's unfortunate when things don't work out. It's unfortunate when things don't go the way you plan. But if you try as hard as you possibly can and things just don't go your way, that's still a life that you can hang your hat on. But to live a full life of mediocrity, of apathy, of not trying, of always opting for comfort and convenience instead of doing what is right, doing what is best for you and your family is not just something that you can't hang your hat on. It is something that you should be ashamed of, something you should be embarrassed about.
You ever look at where you are and wonder, is this all there is? Is this the best I can do? Is this as far as I go? And then you remember one simple truth. The better tomorrow doesn't come without sacrifice today. Right now, in this moment, you have a choice. You can take the easy road, the one lined with distractions, comfort, excuses. Or you can take the hard one, the one that leads to something greater, something worth everything. Sacrifice today for a better tomorrow. That's the code. That's the price. That's the path. While everyone's out chasing comfort, you're choosing discipline. While they're sleeping in, you're grinding in silence. While they're partying, you're planning. While they scroll, You build. It's not fun, it's not flashy, it's not easy. But every rep, every late night, every lonely hour, it all compounds. People won't see the work, but they'll be shocked by the result. They'll call you lucky, but you'll know it was sacrifice, delayed pleasure, delayed reward. You trade instant fun for long-term greatness because average people want to feel good now. But winners, they want to be great later. And great doesn't come cheap. It costs your comfort. It costs your excuses. It costs all the things weak minds cling to. But you're not weak. You're not ordinary. You're building a life so strong, even your future self will say thank you. So yeah, sacrifice today. Sacrifice the party, the comfort, the distractions, because tomorrow you'll rise. Tomorrow you'll stand taller. Tomorrow you'll live the life others only dream about. And it all started with a choice to suffer now so you can succeed later. A choice to bet on yourself. Sacrifice today, win forever. Sacrifice isn't about suffering, it's about choosing what matters most. It's about saying no to the short term so you can say yes to the long term. It's about giving up the nap so you can get the work done. Giving up the party so you can build your future. Giving up the peace of mind today for the power of purpose tomorrow. People talk about success like it's handed out freely. Like if you just smile and wait, it'll find you. But real success, it's earned. In sweat, in silence, in the moments when nobody's watching and you still choose to keep going. So why push yourself now? Why make the hard choices when nobody's forcing you to? Because one day, you're gonna thank yourself. You're gonna stand on the other side of your struggle and realize every bit of pain was worth the progress. The life you want doesn't start tomorrow. It starts today, in the early mornings, the late nights, the quiet hustle while others sleep. That's where your future is being built, one sacrifice at a time.
What if you don't accomplish your goals? What if you don't do anything different? What if you just make a long list of things that you would like to do, but you don't?
Just so we're all clear, some of the best lessons that you will ever learn, some of the best lessons that I will ever learn, will come from the most pain, the most frustration, and the darkest moments.
The discomfort of sacrifice now is fleeting. The joy of achievement later is boundless. So today, I challenge you. Which path are you truly walking? Are you chasing the fleeting highs, or are you building a foundation for lasting greatness? It's time to make a conscious choice. It's time to prioritize your future self. It's time to embrace the discomfort of the short term for the undeniable rewards of the long term.
You ever notice how life constantly puts you at a crossroads? One path feels good right now. The other feels hard, lonely, even unfair. But that's the battle between short-term pleasure and long-term gain. Short-term pleasure gives you a quick hit, a buzz, a distraction, an escape. It feels good in the moment, but leaves you empty later. Long-term gain? It hurts now. It asks for pain, sacrifice, delayed gratification. But it builds something real, something lasting. People chase pleasure like it's the answer, but all it gives them is regret. Regret for not starting, regret for not pushing harder, regret for choosing comfort over courage. And one day, they wake up wondering why their life isn't where they wanted it to be. Because here's the truth. Nothing worth having comes easy. Freedom, wealth, strength, clarity, purpose. They all come with a price tag, and that price is paid now. In sweat, in silence, in struggle. Listen up! A lot of people talk about winning. They talk about the trophies, the rings, the championships. They see the highlights. They see the glory, but they don't see the work. They don't see the obsession. They don't see the mindset that separates the good from the great from the legendary. This isn't about talent alone. Talent is a starting point, sure, but it's not enough, never enough. It's about the mindset, the Mamba mentality. It's about the relentless pursuit of perfection, not perfection itself, because that's impossible, but the pursuit of it, every single day. It means waking up before anyone else. When the city is still asleep, you're already working. When others are resting, you're pushing. When they're comfortable, you're uncomfortable. It means embracing the grind, loving the process, not just the outcome. The sweat, the pain, the exhaustion, that's where growth lives. It means being obsessed. Obsessed with your craft. Obsessed with getting better. Obsessed with understanding every angle, every detail. You don't just want it, you need it. It's in your DNA. It consumes you. And when you fail, because you will fail, everyone does, you don't dwell on it. You learn from it. You dissect it. And then you use it as fuel. You don't let it break you. You let it build you. Stronger, smarter, more determined. It's about fearlessness. Not being without fear, but acting despite it. Taking the last shot. Stepping up when everyone else shrinks. It's about holding yourself to a higher standard than anyone else ever could. Because you know what you're capable of. You know the work you've put in. And when you've put in that work, when you've outworked everyone, when you've faced every challenge head on, then, and only then, do you earn the right to be confident. It's not about being liked. It's about being respected. It's about being the best version of yourself every damn day. So when you step onto that court, or into that meeting, or face that challenge, remember the mindset, the relentless pursuit, the obsession, the fearlessness, the absolute commitment to being the best. That's how winners are made, not born. Made through the work, through the mindset. Now, go get it! You ever notice how two people can start in the exact same place, but end up in completely different places in life? It's not always about money. It's about mindset. The rich and the poor don't just differ in their bank accounts. They differ in their thinking. Not all rich people are smart. Not all poor people are lazy. But one group thinks in a way that builds wealth. The other doesn't. A poor mindset waits for permission. A rich mindset creates the opportunity. A poor mindset says, I can't afford it. A rich mindset asks, how can I earn it? Poor minds complain. Rich minds execute. Poor minds chase comfort. Rich minds chase growth. Poor minds want entertainment. Rich minds invest in education. Poor minds blame. Rich minds take full responsibility. You don't need to be born rich to think rich. You need to train your mind to see possibilities where others see problems. You need to shift from lack to abundance, not in your bank account, but in your belief system. Because wealth starts in the mind before it ever shows up in your reality. A rich mindset delays gratification. It plays the long game, builds piece by piece, brick by brick, while the poor mindset wants fast money, shortcuts, and gets stuck in survival mode. But the moment you shift your thinking, your entire world begins to change. It's not about luck, it's about habits. It's not about background, it's about belief. The real riches are discipline, focus, hunger, and vision. That's what separates those who rise from those who stay stuck. So ask yourself, are you thinking like someone trying to escape the struggle? Or are you thinking like someone who's already building the empire? Change your mind and you'll change your life. Because the richest thing you can ever own is the right mindset. So ask yourself, what kind of mindset do you really have? Are you training yourself to be rich or settling for the poor mentality? Because the way you think right now determines where you're going. You want to be rich? Then act like it. Think like it. Work like it. Even when you've got nothing. Act like someone who's on their way. Because mindset is the first step to everything else. Change your thinking. Change your life. Because rich versus poor isn't about money. It's about mindset. So today, I challenge you. Examine your mindset. Are you operating from a place of scarcity or abundance? Are you limiting yourself or liberating your potential? Choose to cultivate a rich mindset. One that sees endless possibilities. One that embraces growth. One that takes ownership of its journey. Because when you change your mind, you change your world. You change your actions. You change your results. The power to transform your life, to build the future you envision, resides not in external circumstances, but in the incredible power of your own mind. Go forth, cultivate that rich mindset, and unlock the boundless abundance that awaits you. Your journey to true wealth begins now.
Every single failure you've faced has been preparing you for this moment, teaching you lessons that success never could. Your scars are proof that you're a fighter, not a quitter, and fighters don't stay down when life knocks them flat. Right now, while others are making excuses, you have the chance to make a comeback that will inspire everyone around you. Stop waiting for the perfect moment, because champions are made in the mess, in the struggle, in the moments when everything seems impossible. Get up, dust yourself off, and show the world what you're really made of. Because your greatest victory is waiting on the other side of your biggest fear.
Life's toughest battles are fought by the strongest souls. Your struggles don't define you. Your courage does. Keep going, because every step forward is a victory. Difficult times aren't here to break you. They're here to build you. Every struggle is shaping the strength you'll need for your next level. Keep pushing forward. Your story is far from over.